Taxation is legitimate rent, only freeloaders pretend it's theft. Anarcho-capitalists love the slogan, "Taxation is theft." It sounds profound until you realize it collapses under their own property ethic. Theft means taking what isn't yours. But in a co-owned system, pooled upkeep isn't theft, it's rent. The hotel we all live in. Picture society as a grand hotel, co-owned by its occupants. The plumbing, elevators, security, and fire alarms are maintained through contributions by generations of guests. Rent here is taxes, the bill for keeping the hotel running. A newborn isn't charged at birth. They get a trial period until they're mature enough to pay. At that point, they choose: stay in the hotel and pay rent, or leave for another hotel, commune, or wilderness outpost. The hotel isn't responsible for giving you better options if you don't like the rent. You are free to go, but you can't stay, use the lights and water, and then call the bill. Theft. Co-owners get a say. Unlike a regular hotel, this one gives every occupant a vote as a co-owner. You have a say in how the common areas are run and how the rules are set. If enough co-owners agree, they can lower or raise the fees, change the governance, or even dissolve the hotel system altogether. There's even room for bilateral secession. If a large enough group of co-owners wants to leave collectively and form their own arrangement, the system provides avenues to do so. That's not oppression. That's exactly how co-ownership works. So the ANCAP isn't trapped, they're simply unwilling to do the hard work of persuasion, consensus building, or organizing their exit. The ownership objection. The ANCAP rejoinder is predictable. The hotel is illegitimately owned because it was built on stolen indigenous land. But even under their own rules, this falls apart. No guilt by ancestry. The current occupants didn't commit the theft. ANCAPs themselves insist aggression is individual. You can't dispossess innocent heirs for ancestral crimes without committing aggression yourself. Restitution has rules. If an identifiable heir of the dispossessed exists, restitution might be owed. But absent such heirs, the property stays with the current holders. Outsiders have no standing. A random ANCAP has no genealogical or contractual tie to the victims. They can't walk in and claim superior title. If that were possible, all property everywhere would collapse. Recursive legitimacy. If even one legitimate occupant exists, someone alive today who inherited their room without stealing, then legitimacy compounds. Each generation inherits not just the property but the legitimacy of the previous owner. Unless a valid heir interrupts the chain, the ownership remains sound. Thus, the present hotel is legitimate under ANCAP property rules. War and collective responsibility. If the hotel collectively decides to pool resources for war, and that war leads to the killing of foreigners, even collateral deaths, then every occupant is complicit so long as they remain. By staying, they are claiming co-ownership, enjoying the benefits, and tacitly accepting the pooling of resources. If they find this intolerable, their only consistent option under their own ethic is to leave the hotel. The NAP and rent collection. Here's the coup de grace. ANCAPs already accept that landlords and HOAs can use force to collect rent. By their own logic, refusing to pay rent while occupying a co-owned property is aggression. And if aggression justifies defensive force, then tax enforcement isn't theft, it's defense against a free rider. So by their own NAP, refusing to pay taxes equals violating the NAP. Tax enforcement equals justified defense. Rent is not theft. Given the legitimacy of co-ownership, taxation is rent. The ANCAP who refuses to pay isn't a freedom fighter, he's a squatter freeloading off his neighbors, violating the very principle he claims to hold sacred. If taxation is theft, then so are mortgages, HOA fees, and inherited debts, all of which ANCAPs happily recognize as valid. Their position dissolves the moment it is applied consistently. Conclusion. Taxation is not theft. It is legitimate rent owed by co-owners of a hotel, where legitimacy passes from generation to generation. Newborns get a trial period. Outsiders have no standing. Adults are always free to leave. And every co-owner has a vote to change the system, change the fees, or even dissolve it entirely. But if they stay, even when the hotel fights wars they dislike, they share responsibility. And if they refuse to pay rent, they are the aggressors, and enforcement is defense. So the next time an ANCAP cries, "Taxation is theft," remind them, it's not theft to pay your share of the hotel bill. What's theft is free riding off your neighbors while pretending you're a philosopher.